Hello, my dear. Wow, you saved my favorite spot.
Oh my goodness! You actually made it here on time today. Something must have gotten your goat for you to get up this early.
Yeah. But isn't it goad? As in, gotten your goad? Maybe not. Maybe you're correct?
Oh, kids, she just sat down and it's already started. So let's give it another try. Hello, my lovely Miss Kate. How are you doing this fine spring Houston morning?
Well, I haven't really noticed spring because I've been too wrapped up trying to find a job.
Wait a second. Sorry, I'm trying to buy something online and the screen keeps messing up.
How lovely for you, my friend, to have such an amazingly lax job that you get to spend long lunches here with me.
Indeed.
And to my great misfortune, when I finally get tired of job searching, I can turn to this lovely book that you foisted upon me.
Foisted? Oh, dear one. You sound like I'm making you read it. Like a school assignment?
It kinda is, given my personality.
Can't you just stop reading it if it's that bad? I'm sure I can suggest others.
No. Like I told you yesterday, it's because it's so bad that I feel compelled to read it. If this was a good book and simply boring, then no problemo. I'd easily dump it in a second.
So, dear girl, it's my fault the book is both bad and boring?
Indeed. Is there a lesson here?
What lesson?
Well, it's obvious that friends shouldn't give their compulsive friends any challenges that amplify their compulsivity.
Okay then. I accept full responsibility for your grave mood. I'm sure I'll hear no end to this mistake of mine.
Your penance, Sonja, is having to listen to me critique and vilify every single sentence, much less plot twist.
I see. I thought you said yesterday that there is no plot?
That's a fact. You forced me to read an entirely plotless stinker of fiction. Oh, lucky me.
Some things you say. Mandate no response, Kate.
Response? Oh, you'll respond for sure when I tell you about this latest chapter.
Does that mean you read an entire chapter after we left here yesterday afternoon?
Yepers. I'm scorching through this wretched beast because the content is so tedious. For example, just listen to this. The chapter is titled, On the Nature of Human Beings.
That sounds philosophical, maybe even ecological, or ecologically philosophical?
No. Not ecological, certainly. More likely pseudo-philosophical. Or psychological.
So it's not about ecology, given their horizontal gardens and such?
I wish. Just my luck that Rick, knighted by the king as the royal master of monotony, apparently does all the talking in this. Yep, just Ricky boy, droning along for page upon page, monotonously monologuing his messages to unsuspecting aliens.
The messages he's sending their way via his laser light show?
Yes, those messages. Relentless, pedantic, insipid. And because it's so witlessly boring, Ricky feels he must first apologize to his poor green friends. Yeah, to the aliens. For rambling on too much.
Why, that's very Canadian of him.
Yeah, as in way overly apologetic. Like, sorry aliens, I complained to excess about things over which I hold no control. Not my fault. You see, I was raised by an over-nurturing mother who never told me the truth about my nonsensical chatter. So, my apologies. In advance.
I like that. Maybe the aliens appreciate this type of politeness. Reminds me of my parents. They're always saying, move back with us to Minnesota because we Scandies there are nicer than Texans.
Yeah, so you've told me, though I've yet to be invited to your parents' place in Colda Soda.
Hello? You there? Dear one, they invited you last Christmas, but you had some potential love mate that took precedence. Don't you recall?
Oh God, please don't remind me of Mr. Flakesville.
Okay. I know that's a sore subject. So, back to Ricky Boy. What does lovely Rickster have to say about human beings and nature?
Well, it ain't about nature, for sure. Pretty much, he starts dinging all of us hominids about how we raise our children, for God's sakes.
Hominids? Is he focusing on how gorillas and bonobos raise their young?
No, I didn't mean those hominids. I mean the human kind of hominids. But, you know, I think what he implied can be for any of the great apes. In fact, it could probably apply to any animal, come to think of it.
Seriously? So Ricky is dissing every single animal species for how they raise their young tykes? I mean, that's a lot of insects who could probably care less.
Maybe. But in this case, I think he was only targeting us humans, as I doubt he mentioned bonobos and the like.
Man, I adore those bonobos, don't you? They're like the friendliest of the apes, all non-violent, good buddies.
Yeah, I get that. Bonobos are the hippies of the apesters, right?
Right? You can see them wearing bangles and bell-bottoms. They'd fit perfectly into that 60s era.
Funny, that's what I'd like to come back as, assuming they're still around when I'm reincarnated.
What's that? Kate believes in reincarnation?
Woo! Bless you! So, not really in the capital R kind, but I'd like to come back as something of my choosing, if possible.
Geez, Kate, I never considered that. What if it's all real? And what if we don't get to choose our next gig?
I think about that all the time. Here comes poor Kate, dragging up the rear of today's beggars. She worked out okay as a human. Not a wizard, but okay. So, team, where should we place her next? High order or lowly?
Sounds like you'd want to know beforehand who's on the selection team, no?
I guess. If you knew that, you could bribe them while we're all still alive. Then you'd get your pick, meaning I could be a fun-loving bonobo.
Of course. I can see you as a bonobo, given your charitably forgiving, fret-free nature.
Hey, I'm fun-loving, at least when I'm having fun.
Sure, dear one. That's why we stick together. We're just two unhinged, happy bonobos, drinking away our bonobo bubble teas at the haunt, right?
Ah, bubble tea. Are you good?
Yes, lots of lychee jelly left in the bottom of this one. So another half hour of chewing on those.
Then maybe some lunch?
Sure. But back to Ricky. So, why did he say he didn't like humans?
I wouldn't say he didn't like humans, since I think he and Sophia are humans and not aliens at this juncture. But he was waxing philosophical on the fact that we're lazy about raising our young.
Huh. And what's wrong with that? Seems to have worked out thus far, right?
According to Rick, he's a big no on that topic. The boy says, we just pop those babies out and hope for the best. No concrete objectives, just hopes and dreams.
That's kind of how parenting works, isn't it?
I suppose, but Rick, being some brilliant wiseacre, thinks those aliens he's talking to need to know. Dear aliens, we don't plan our children at all. Then we let them run wild and free. Thus, Earth is a veritable cluster of confusion and disarray.
They'll love that. It's super critical info for extraterrestrials, especially if they're coming to visit or take over.
Yeah, who'd care to take over a planet staffed with a bunch of rowdy and reckless kidlets, right?
You said staffed, as in the planet is staffed with people and kids?
Kinda, if you think about it. There's Earth, and we are staffing it. Not so great at our jobs, maybe, but we don't get paid to do it now, do we?
Right. Uh-huh. Did you consider that maybe Ricky Boy is sending this signal to the aliens to convince them not to visit us? As in, not to take over our planet and poof us all?
Maybe. You might have something there, Sonja. He's trying to say, look, if you're traveling all this way to take over, you inherit the horrible babysitting duties.
Yeah, sure. Good luck with that. Babysitting a planet of snot-nosed, spoiled kids while humans just keep popping them out?
Indeed. If you give the bug-eyed guys a daunting task like that, they'll never come to visit.
A well-considered interstellar lie.
Maybe this author is a genius after all, scaring off these would-be invaders. He'll save the entire human species with this.
See? I don't just throw tedious, meaningless books at you. I know there was some redeeming purpose that made me suggest this masterpiece to you.
Yeah. But no, nothing redeeming thus far. Worse yet, after whipping our child-rearing habits, he rips us all a new one about our possessions. That we, generous and never selfish humans, are ridiculously obsessed with owning things. Like racehorses.
Really? He mentioned racehorses? I don't know many people obsessed with owning racehorses.
Okay, maybe that one was a stretch, but you get the idea.
So, wait a minute here. Bum-de-bum-bum. I'm just about to hit send on this long email.
No problem.
Okay, done. So, Ricky Boy and owning things. He's complaining because humans own things? Like, what planet is he from?
Yes, indeedy. Worse yet, he's very judgy about it. He visits friends' houses and is barely able to walk through them without tripping over their mountainous multitudes of stuff, as he quotes it.
I feel for him because I know too many people like that.
Like Shirley?
Shirley.
Yeah, Shirley. Do you remember her from the dorm?
Of course, burly Shirley. But she was so tiny. Why did we call her that?
Well, I think that I gave her that unfortunate moniker one day when I was in a particularly noxious mood. Poor girl.
Or should you say, poor Cheryl?
Yep. I just can't help myself giving people other names. Just in my genes or something.
Right. And why did you bring her up?
Don't you remember? My God, her parents were uber wealthy. Like, they lived in Memorial, or at least had one of their many mega casa mansions there. The unfortunately wealthy slobs.
Oh, yes. Burly Shirley. The girl was kind of a mess in some ways. Nice, but a mess. As in, flitty and uncentered.
Yeah, but her main mess was her dorm room. Like, it had every possible stuffed animal and booble-heady thing and trash trinket adorned on the walls and floors.
Oh, yeah. Right. That dorm room was dangerously outfitted. I'd always have to duck whatever weird plastic doilies hung from her ceiling.
Not a fan of that room of hers. Don't you remember when her parents bought that full-sized refrigerator, then had the door specially modified to fit the beast inside her dorm room?
Yeah, but that was a great fridge. The whole floor could store stuff in there. Like 30 cubic feet of space.
No alcohol, though.
Her parents demanded that, right?
Think so. They were superior conservativo, at least until their unfortunate revelation occurred.
Oh, yeah. The thing about arms dealing, Russian spies, bribes, and Washington influence peddling?
Right out of a sordid spy novel it was. And there sat poor burly Shirley, happily and richly enjoying her sophomore year in the dorm. Then it all came to light.
Yeah, felt kind of sad for her. She was so friendly and giving. Wonder what happened to her.
Don't know for sure. Someone who knew her well said she went to Oxford or Cambridge, or some other fancy place where other billionaire kids like to frolic, among their own kind. Just not with us plebes.
Uh-oh. There you go, girl.
Go where?
That pesky B word, dear. We've been together all of, 15 minutes? And you finally mentioned the beloved B word. Better yet, you didn't hesitate. It just slipped right out.
I suppose 15 must be a record. Then again, maybe I'm starting to go soft on that entire class of never-taxed, luxuriated peasantry.
I like that. Luxuriated peasantry. But man, I doubt her parents had any peasant blood at all.
Really, right? I once saw her hop into one of those Mercedes-Benz electrics with her parents.
Really? Her parents were driving? Or was it their chauffeur?
Didn't look that closely, but the driver looked very dad-like.
So that might have been part of the whole security architecture surrounding the poor girl's life. You get it, right? Hire some dad-looking dude to drive. Use the daughter as decoy, so you fool the paparazzi and any potential bad guys.
Yes. Maybe that's a new job for me. I could supplant some poor rich kid who looks a little like me. Then I'll get paid to drive around in a Benz that goes 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. Meanwhile, the rich girl is off on some yacht. We both win.
Wow, now that's a great job. But somehow did we lose track on the story?
Of course, because you ramble too much. But the essence of Ricky's unverified and unjustified complaining was that humans have too much stuff. As if we need that reminder, huh?
Certainly not. My mom, being a Swede, was into the whole Swedish death cleaning for a phase. Dumped most possessions, then bought all new ones.
But the whole concept is ridiculous. Consumer culture and all. That drive to buy is so innate. You don't need to use a laser to transmit that fact to aliens. They can just look through a telescope to see our overconsumption mess in all its freaking glory.
Sure, that might work. But did Ricky consider that this frenetic buying behavior might be an attractive aspect of our species? That perhaps the aliens are also hoarders and only want to join in the fun?
Hadn't thought of that. If so, Ricky would be disappointed, as he's very proud of his sincere austerity. Or maybe it's austere sincerity. I don't know. Apparently he learned it from his kung fu master.
He calls somebody his master? Like Star Wars? But a kung fu master?
Yes, indeed, Screed. Apparently, kung fu teaches you not to own too many things, or the possessions will distort your gamma, or beta, or something Greek, and similar to those names.
Delta? Omega? Either way, that's a legitimate philosophy. Minimalist martial arts. Even I could go for that.
Sure, I go minimalist due to budgetary mandates, but why does Ricky Boy need to brag to the aliens about his kung fu journey? And how has it made him so austere and sincere and lovable?
You never know. Could be these aliens also practice martial arts, so little explanation is required?
If that's the case, then these large-headed, bug-eyed dudes would already know about austerity, and Rick is simply wasting valuable laser time.
Fair point. Just imagine what a mess of a flying saucer you'd have if you hoarded. My God.
No, that'd be the worst. Honey, I'm taking the snowblower with us, and all the winter garb and other accoutrements, since you never know when we'll visit a scorchingly cold and snowy planet.
Sure. I can just imagine all that equipment flying around as the saucer spins so fast.
Yep. Or maybe, just maybe, they designed the saucer so all of the heavy stuff, like snowblowers and tractors and stuff, is at the edges of the saucer. Strapped down, you know?
Good idea. All that weight helping the inertia of the spin. I mean, with it stuck at the sidewalls, just one or two little spins, then suddenly you're trucking at light speed.
Yeah, maybe we just unwittingly designed the world's first usable flying saucer. You simply store a bunch of heavy hoarder junk and furniture at its edges, sling it around a bit like a top until the wobbling evens out. Then whomp, and you're suddenly transported to another solar system. Cool.
I like that. Proof that people should listen to us.
Right. But all this saucer talk has me thinking about plates and saucers, and therefore food. So I'll go check out the counter sandwiches. Do you want anything yet?
Not yet, Kate. Not until I get through this doggone article I'm supposed to read. But feel free to check them out.
I will. Though, before I move my carcass here, I forgot to tell you something. Very important.
Oh, really? Is this about the book, or what?
You know, I do have many personal interests beyond this lousy book.
Of course you do. So, what's so very important that you forgot to tell me first thing today?
Gluten, Sonja. Gluten.
Gluten? As in food and such?
Uh-huh. That kind of gluten.
Then what about gluten, Miss Kate?
No. Wait. Looky here. There's another word with no rhyming partner. Gluten. Maybe bootin? Sootin? Cahootin? I don't know. Just another lonely term to land on the island of misfit words.
Oh, Kate. Sometimes your mind goes these places.
Oh, I know. Off. Off into numerous directions, albeit many of some import.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think it's all genetic. Like my dad was this way too. Couldn't finish one topic without hitting 30 others along the way.
And so you've repeated a few times, dear one.
But in this case, I'm too engaged to veer off into other thoughts.
I'm sorry. Does this mean you want me to pay full attention to you? Should I stop scanning this doggone work article?
No need to. But I was reading a post last night about gluten sensitivity.
And?
I know you think I'm a hypo, as in hypochondriac. Like, I sometimes think if that was a college course, I would have double majored in hypochondria as well as sociology.
Oh, sure. Those put together would be educational dynamite.
Obviously. And the course of study is called hypochondroology.
Whew, that's too long for a college major, you think? But you have to assume there's an ology appended to the end.
Maybe. But it sounds super scientific. And think of it this way. Of all the people in the world who exhibit this behavior, I'd be one of the only majors in it, globally.
Right. And now we proudly present Kate DaCosta, our first Doctor of Hypochondro-somethingology. I like that.
No kidding. Amazingly, I get ideas like this that should go places, far places. And yet, they always seem to vanish into thin air, right?
Nobody could ever accuse you of having an underactive brain, Dr. Kate.
Indeed. But, as usual, I, or we, have digressed off topic. About this whole gluten sensitivity thing.
And you've decided that you have such a sensitivity?
Well, maybe. I mean, think about it. I'm sensitive to everything else, correcto?
You're certainly up there with the best, my friend. And what leads you to this startling revelation?
Well, you of course know about my lifestyle change to the vegan thing, right? Thank God that bubble tea is vegan.
Whoa, girl. You better take a look at that. Or ask your AI there. You never know if they're dropping a dollop of animal lard into your oolong.
Sonja, don't joke like that.
Okay. Joking's over. But you still haven't said why you think you're gluten sensitive.
So, last night I ate a sausage. Then I felt kinda tired a few hours later.
Like, what time was this?
Maybe 10 or 11. Midnight? Right before I was going to bed.
And?
And I dug into the trash this morning. And revelation time. The fake sausage I ate was mostly made from wheat gluten. Like, wow. I had no idea of that.
Wow, indeed. And you attribute your nighttime drowsy feeling to this sausage? Are you sure it wasn't simply that it was late in the evening? Or maybe that you had just finished reading this boring book chapter?
Might be any one of those things. Or all of them. But I wouldn't discount the gluten, Sonja.
Well, it sounds like you should run a test. Go back Eat some more of that sticky, gooey, gluten-y sausage earlier in the day, and don't read the book before bed.
Yeah, but no, I can't. Like I said, I am compelled like a rocket ship to finish the dastardly doltish book as fast as possible. Like, why extend the pain any longer than necessary?
Sure. Rip that old bandage off all at once. By the way, how many chapters do you have left?
I don't know, like 20 or so? But who's counting when you're being unwillingly swaddled in entertainment hormones?
20? Ooh, Kate, good luck with that.
But this whole glutenomics discussion does bring up another critical point from the book.
Oh, really? What's that? Oh, is poor Ricky gluten sensitive? Or maybe Sophia? Or worse yet, their dogs? Geez, that'd be tough.
Right. The challenge of locating gluten-free dog food out in the desolate desert, only a few years after this great debacle of theirs. But no.
No? Do you mean that everyone in the book is gluten happy? Or is it gluten positive? Or gluten loving? Gluten friendly?
Don't know, since I'm not getting any hints.
Hints? At what?
About Ricky. It seems that our talent-obtuse author doesn't gift Ricky with any personality. Like, I don't even know what he looks like. The dude, the author, he is, perennially and permanently nondescript, in the biblical sense of the term.
Oh, sounds like he's great at character building then.
You got that right. I mean, Ricky could sport a 10-foot beard and 5-inch toenails, and the author would never color your mind with that.
Too bad. I was just starting to like Ricky Boy and wanted to find out more.
But I will say that the dude covers science in great detail. Like, people in that time have synbio babies, and Ricky describes them to the aliens.
Synbio babies? Actual living babies?
Yepers. Synthetic biology babies. Little tykes and tykelets who come equipped with enhanced DNA. The lucky little smuckies.
That's a thing in this world? You said equipped? Like a car? Meaning you can have this optional package or that package and only need to pay a few thousand extra for the privilege?
I believe that to be true, my dear. Synbio babies. Babies without sin, presumably, but with synthetic parts and innards.
Innards? Oy vey. Now, what are people doing with these poor tykelets, as you say?
I don't rightly know. Unlike me, Ricky is always complaining.
Certainly. You never complain, Kate.
You bet. But our Ricky complains that there is this big competition for the greatest baby in the world. So billionaires and other rich folk can pay big buckaroos to get the DNA perfectly right.
Well, if I was able to give my child superior genetics to help it live a better life, I can see that.
Sure, but then you're in an arms race against your neighbors, right? Right? Everyone's upgrading their babies, keeping up with the Joneses' babies, I'm told.
Yeah, like buying the next generation of cell phone, but for DNA. Though, I have heard that this is happening elsewhere, in other countries, I believe.
Man, oh man, oh man, there's so much I could do with that capability. No more wondering if the dude looked or glanced at me. You know, the cuddly bear dude at the counter yesterday?
Yeah?
Right, I could bypass Teddy Bear and his dubious genes completely. No quirky quirks, no bad habits, no fakey courtship stuff, no terminal discomfort trying to figure out who he really is beneath or above the covers.
I suppose you could pay a bit more for better habits, like a guy who throws his dirty clothes in the hamper and not on the floor.
Sure, that's the plan, and I love it. Depending on the cost, I could create the perfect spawn of my own choosing. Boy or girl, doesn't matter.
Spawn. Makes us sound like fish in some sense. So, which of the sexes would be more costly?
Boys, of course.
Of course, a far greater need for upgrades there, no doubt.
Right. It's kind of like buying a base platform electric car. If it's a boy car, then 1,000 upgrades are available at very high cost. A girl car, however, for that, only a handful of options are needed since the base creature comes standard with many desirable features.
Sure, think of the upgrade savings by choosing a girl, like personal grooming, brushes teeth daily, doesn't spit. All that comes standard with the base model girl. But boys, big bucks.
Yeah, wow. Dum. One can dream, right?